go. I'm also joined by my good friend and colleague, David Collins, and we're excited to bring you guys another great hockey game here for the Gamecock tonight. Wearing their new black uniforms, they're looking pretty good during the goal, so just a minute and a half away. Last year, Georgia went 5-9, didn't have a great season. They're looking to right that ship as they are on the road for the first time here tonight. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Flex in Ergo, South Carolina. My name is Austin McConnell, alongside my good friend and colleague, David Collins. We want to welcome you to the Gamecock Hockey's D3 team in the third game of the season. Yet to play, taking on yet to be beaten, as Georgia steps into the fight for the first time this season for their first game this season. South Carolina has 3 points in the standings, 2 with a win, 1 with a tie, a couple weeks ago. We're excited to bring you the action this starts on the way from the opening ceremony. Let's go ahead and starting lineup real quickly, Xander. South Carolina, Sean Miller. Wearing number 9 is Sean Miller at left wing. Number 12, Jacob Calvert. Number 2, Nick Esposito. On the defense, Dale Martinez. And number 6, Paul Flood. 6, 30, Tyler Scott.
At left wing, the Bulldogs, number 3, Matthew Whitefield. Center is number 8, Tyler Mason. Right wing, number 6, left is Benson. Bulldogs tonight.
We are just about to get drop the puck here on this wonderful Friday night game. Carolina take off parents weekend. Music cuts and the lights go low as we're ready to get the national anthem underway. We'll be right back after our nation's colors. Our representatives on television here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Plex. Tonight we have a showdown between the Georgia Bulldogs and your South Carolina Gamecocks. And now for the visitors. Starting at wing, at forward for the Georgia Bulldogs, Schwam Camp. Starting at center, Casey. Starting at wing, Hertzig. Starting at defense, Wright. Starting at defense, Dodd. And in net for the Bulldogs, Dees. And now it's time for your South Carolina Gamecocks. Starting at left wing, number 11, Mason Holmes. Starting at center, number 23, Michael Whalen. Starting at right, wing, number 13, Owen Newman. Starting at defense, number 25, Derek Helgley. Starting at defense, number 10, Patrick Greenedge. And in goal, number 30, Silas Dodd. And now, everyone, please rise and remove your caps for playing the Star Spangled Banner.
Set to get underway here in the Plex and Irmo.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for some Gamecock hockey.
South Carolina on this beautiful Friday night. We're underway as Georgia wins the opening draw. So let me link with you guys. It was tipped in the neutral zone. Will not be an icing. Contact along the boards. A centering pass out in front. And a score! Early on, Georgia's on the board. Just like that, a turnover in their own zone. And a goal out front. 1-0 Georgia just 19 seconds into the game.
Yes, the Dogs barking early here tonight in Irmo. Their first game of the season takes them just about 19 seconds to get their first goal of the season.
Not the start Carolina needed tonight. That was number 19, Christian Britzik, for the game, for the Ice Bulldogs. Getting the early go-ahead goal. Carolina's going to look to respond quickly. That's going to be blocked. Centering pass in the front. This goes wide. First to the puck there. William Forrest, he gets tied up in his own defensive zone. He's going to turn the puck over. That was the result of the first goal with a turnover. There early on, wraparound chip, back there to save. Rebound, another goal! George is up 2-0, just under a minute and a half into this game. Unbelievable. What a start for the Bulldogs.
These Sox wearing a new jersey, and I gotta wonder if it's maybe bringing them some bad luck, especially because the Georgia Bulldogs are off to an incredible start, especially coming off of a kind of a lackluster season last season, Austin.
Yeah, Georgia trying to flip their script around. 5-9 last year, not where they wanted to be. This year off to a phenomenal start, 2-0. I mean, they have the freshest legs on the ice. By far, since South Carolina has played 2 games, Georgia's in the first of the season. That's going to be an icing against Georgia.
That's something we talked about before the game. For the keys to the game for Georgia is that they had to come out with some intensity, especially because it's their first game. They've got a lot to do to keep up with this Gamecock squad that's had a couple games thus far this season and been able to build some chemistry. And Bulldogs look like they've been playing all season.
Face off to the right of Georgia. Made a couple saves here tonight. There's another one that goes up into the netting. That was sticking by number 31 in white. Carolina's in. Face off one in the offensive zone by Carolina. Here's Miller. Miller surveying his options, uses the puck for a brief moment.
We witnessed a murder by Miller last game. Makes him do that completely on a very difficult set.
Turnover in the neutral zone will give Carolina the puck back. We're going to send it off the official back penalty box. Carolina's going to look to produce any sort of offense here and get at least one goal back. Shot that was deflected wide. Xander, we didn't even have time to gather our thoughts before this game started. And just like that, Georgia's up 2-0. What a great start.
Yeah, it's an incredible start for the Bulldogs. Usually we didn't see 2 goals in any of Carolina's games until midway through the second period, so for them to concede 2 within the first few minutes is something they're going to have a talk at halftime. 2 periods, excuse me.
Turnover there went way wide of the net. That puck hit the netting, it's going to be out of the way. We're going to get another right away. Xander, we were going to bring up the keys to the game, but Georgia went ahead and netted 2. What does Carolina have to do to get some back?
Absolutely. Carolina's going to have to continue to be lethal as they have been all season on the power play. 2 of their goals last game coming from the power play. It'll be a good way for them to get back into this game if they can get under Georgia's skin and send them to the penalty box.
Yeah, we were going to talk about how Georgia needs to come out with intensity, and they did just that. And nothing more for a team than letting up the few goals. Not a fast start by any means for Carolina. Here comes a third opportunity for the Bulldogs. Saved there by Dobbs. That was almost shifty. Number 19, Christian Herzig almost had his second of the night. And it would have been a highlight reel goal. But a big time pad save by Dobbs.
Dobbs, of course, being rested last game against the Citadel. Maybe wonder if he's a little bit rusty. But it speaks to the depth of the squad that they're able to rest.
That one just got past Mason Holmes. As now Carolina will retreat to their own corner. Almost start the breakout process. That goes off Needham. He's going to recover. Wholesale line from East Carolina. Trying to be poked at by Helody. Helody tries the backhand one out. 15-11 to go in the first period.
Yeah, Carolina coming off of a pretty large win score-wise against Citadel just 2 weeks ago. They made 6 wins scored their first win of the season. So a very different start to this one. As we mentioned a couple times. Those are kind of shocking the game back as well.
Shot there.
If you busy plotting on what I got, in your ball and swap you out. $100,000 on the table, top half. First small whip, same first small ones. Got no jumper, but I ball a lot. Bitch on your stony, I do it all. Can't play with the water.
They only lost 3 seniors last year, so they're returning a lot of guys. Maybe looking at 5 and 9 to maybe 9 and 5 this year.
You got to feel also that they're maybe a little bit motivated by their D1 team. Their D1 team lost in overtime against Kakaki D1. Maybe that's a little bit of motivation for them tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Cock Hockey definitely supporting their D3 team. They know how big of a rivalry this game is. Spin around here. Rebound save. By Heath. The official motion whistle. He doesn't like it. Somebody's getting to the box. Not someone new yet. Looks like it's going to be half action.
Look, I was pretty sick. I don't know nobody
And number
else
33,
doing this.
Santa
I
Maria.
just had to drop.
For the Bulldogs.
Now they wanna know me since I hit
4
the
on 4
top.
action
Hey, it's
here.
a rolling, not a stop. Watch shit don't never stop. This that flow that got a block house. Any more respect. I just took it left like I'm under deck. Bitch, I moved to London with the US grip. Gotta sneak it in and then break the sweat. Just because I'm gone, I ain't gonna I go from 6 to 23 like I'm a gun. Sunday nigga pack, Sunday nigga pack. Niggas pulling demons 'cause they scared to rap. Funny how they shook, pulling back the curtain by myself, take a look. Hey, I'm a bar hitter, I'm a bar hitter. Yeah, I'm light skinned, but I'm still a dark nigga. I'm a big splitter, I'm a tall figure. I'm a unforgiving, wild ass dog nigga. Something wrong with him, got him all bitter. I'm a bill printer, I'm a grave digger. Yeah, I am what I am. I don't have no time for no misunderstandings again.
Shot there goes on his shoulder. We mentioned before, 4 on 4 action here. Now 3 on 2 for the Bulldogs. 4 on 4, a lot less real estate on the ice when you're missing 2 guys, 1 on each team.
Play. Sir.
Face off in the Gamecock zone. It's won by the So a turnover in the Carolina zone. They're going to retreat with it. The ball gets tied up. Georgia back the other way with it. Throwing off the fourth, and Carolina looks like they're kind of running around like chickens with their heads cut off. They don't really know what to do right now. They can't connect on any passes either. Very slow start for the men in black.
I mean, they've had just about as many shots as Georgia has. Georgia has just been a lot more clinical, obviously with 2 goals coming in this first couple minutes.
Possession, Georgia. Good job by Forrest. There's a shot just goes wide of the net there. That was shot by Joshua Madison. And now a chance out in front, and that just went wide. He could not get a stick on it. And a big collision in the corner. Newnham stares down his man. He has every right to do so. He just made him a little boy. That's put ultimately in the goal. Looking to continue their attack. They've had a good one to start this game so far. Carolina's starting to throw something up the cage there on the other end. But Georgia consistently has that intensity with the net. One down the screen. That's the going for the ice, no icing. Now the official has his hand in the air. Georgia bench is yelling about something, not sure exactly what. Might be too many men on the ice. And Jared Dye, after making a great diving effort to prevent the 2-on-1, is going to head to the penalty box for 2 minutes.
Resulting in a Gamecock power play. He'll throw it down to the half wall. Alberto now. Takes his time, gets back to the front. Sends it over the net by blocking. There's a shot from Miller. Plays back to shot. Miller in person. Looks for the cutter. Anthony Rodriguez. He gets knocked down the center. Ball comes back to Will Turner. Takes a shot. What the fuck was just out of the net? Wrap around opportunity. Trying to stuff it home. He's going to the way.
Everything be like off the top these days. These days I don't even know what hell is these days, you know? Yeah. Fuck that hoe, cause she a net be the one for real, bitch. You ain't got shit I need, bitch. You want me to take my time, bitch. You a nigga, I'm not your sleeve, bitch. Maybe I'm out to leave, bitch. You ain't got no cheese, bitch. Maybe I'm just too.
This face off is won by Georgia. Come back up top. Now the second power play line out there with 35 seconds to go. Down low. Switching positions. He's up top. 10 seconds to go. Tonight, as Georgia had a chance there.
could not make anything happen. Puck bounces into the Georgia corner. They hit along the boards. Chance out of front, and a big save by Dees. Important positions no matter the event, especially in hockey. And this Georgia defense knows that that's why they've been blocking shots, getting spark some momentum in Carolina.
Now comes back up top and a big whiff on it. It was McAdams. He had a great opportunity. And now hit from behind. Carolina's going back to the power play. So Gamecocks will get 2 minutes on the board with 8:11 to go in the first period. The score is 2-1, and if you're just joining, welcome to the Plex in Irmo, South Carolina. There was a hit from behind in the neutral zone that was not called. That could have been a makeup call in the Georgia zone. Now Carolina back to their second man advantage of the night. They've got some good opportunities. They're going to look to equalize this. Noonan will take it across the blue line. And the Gamecocks go back through center. Matt Baxter with some speed. He got that one poked away. Regains possession. It comes up top to DuBois. Or Marchese, excuse me. Now over to Noonan. Back to Marchese. Down to Baxter. This is power play line number 1. Shot goes into the netting behind D's. And a whistle with 1:26 to go in the power play.
We spoke about how this is Georgia's first game of the season. What started out as a very hot start has turned kind of slowed down for them. Maybe that's something to do with how they haven't played this season. Carolina, of course, has already played 2. They're in their 3rd one now. Still undefeated. Maybe it's some of that experience helping them come back here.
Now, great defensive stand from Georgia. They're going to have a chance here on the shorthand. Pulling up out of that one was Herzig. He just wanted to kill some time. And now it's basically a 4-on-3 back the other way. And the Gamecocks throw that one away. It will be an icing. And it's going to come back down near Dobbs. Carolina, not where you want to be on the power play in your own zone.
if you are watching, I am Austin McConnell, and this is Xander Collins next to me. Glad you can hear us. And if you are just listening in the car, also glad you can hear us. But the Gamecocks are going left to right in this first period. Georgia's going right to left. Gamecocks debuting their new black uniforms. Georgia in their road whites. 7 minutes to go here in the first period. 2-1 is your score. 50 seconds to go on the power play for Carolina as they just now enter the Georgia zone for what feels like the first time this man advantage. And it's Newnham along the half wall with the puck. Tries to send one across to Matt Baxter. He called for it. Might have got deflected in front. Georgia will change all 4 guys on the ice. Carolina's going to change 2 or 3 as well. Trying to catch him in that change is Murphy. The freshman will backhand it in, tie up around the boards. And this one will just barely leave the zone. Carolina's going to have to retreat, and Will Traynor will do just that. He moves it over to Helledy. He gives it back to Traynor. As the final seconds tick off on this power play, set to come out of the box is goal scorer Christian Hertzig. He got the first one just 19 seconds into this match. And now Georgia trying to find their defensive unit. They're a little out of whack. Carolina trying to take advantage. He went to the paint, gave it a backhander, but D's making another good save.
Yeah, as we've mentioned a couple times on the broadcast so far tonight, D's been very good in between the sticks for the Bulldogs. That one goal he conceded, not really his fault, kind of an unlucky bounce, but I mean, a goal is a goal. Carolina will gladly take that as they look to get another one back to tie this one up.
We've seen quite a few deflection goals happen this season already in just the first 2 games against Charlotte and the Citadel. It's very important to get guys in front of the net, as there's a turnover there. Another rebound opportunity, a couple bodies go flying, and McAdams couldn't get a stick on it. Now he has it behind the cage. Puts on the spin cycle. Tries to move one out front. Somehow still has the puck. That one just gets shuffled wide. Backhanded out of the zone. It'll come the length of the ice. And will be an icing as Will Traynor will go touch up with 5:31 to go in this first period. Gamecocks changing their personnel. Georgia is not allowed to change their personnel due to their icing call against them. Saw that rule implemented in the NHL a couple years ago. The AAU, College Hockey South Division, followed respectively. I know puck. I watch my fair share of Capitals games, so I know all the rules now. Because I've seen it all with that team.
Oh yeah.
There's now some razzle-dazzle almost from Carolina, but just not in the right place at the right time. And now Georgia's going to look to capitalize on it. Shot there just goes over Dobbs. He had to duck that one. That went right at his head. That shot came from Drew Landon, the third-line left winger. Carolina very close to being offsides there. They're going to let him play. Almost squeaked through to Newnham. Just out of his reach. 4:52 remains in this first period. Gamecocks trying to tie it up before they go to the end of the first 20 minutes. As Buck's bouncing out front and comes across the blue line. Carolina gonna have to touch up. Georgia gets a couple guys off the ice. I'm sure they are gassed. A miscommunication through the neutral zone. Coach didn't like that play. And here comes DuBois. DuBois lets one rip a big stick save by Dees. Back through center comes Georgia. Well, the first 2 minutes looked like it was all Georgia, and now it's looked like it's been all Gamecocks in the Georgia zone. Georgia hasn't had much of a say on offense as bodies are going all over the place, and I think we're going to get a call here. No call. So just a frozen puck. There could have been a couple calls there, I'm not going to lie, on either team. They were kind of throwing each other around nowhere near the puck. Definitely a couple interference could have been called, but the Stripes will let them play tonight.
I mean, it's hockey. We got to let them play. Let those boys get active.
Coming back to Forrest, he sends a ground ball towards Dees, who steers that one aside easily. Now thrown to the center. Puck comes out of the zone. Forrest will retreat. He'll try and throw it into the Bulldogs' end of the ice.
Coming onto the ice for the Gamecocks is number 4, Anthony Rodriguez, who was able to get his first points of the season last game against the Citadel, scoring a goal and serving one up for a teammate as well.
Get 2 points in 2 games. Averaging a point a game is great. A couple other players have done that. We saw Sean Miller. He had the same stat line, a goal and an assist. There's a big collision behind Dobbs. And a penalty upcoming. The official right in front of us calling a cross-check on number 4, Anthony Rodriguez. And it's like anytime we talk about something tonight, the complete opposite has happened. We might have to just stick to calling the game and not giving our analyst, our expert analysis, I should say.
Oh, and it is expert, Austin.
All of our years of playing. Not good for Carolina. They had all the momentum with the power play. The last thing you wanted to do was give the Bulldogs an opportunity to have a man advantage and a chance to blow this league back open.
How long you been playing, Austin?
I played from about 3 to 6 years old, and then I played beer leagues on Thursday night. So
What's that, like 12 years experience between the two of us?
between the two of us, yep, exactly. And it's not the greatest experience. It's 11 p.m. Thursday night hockey in South Carolina.
Every minute on the ice counts.
Exactly. That one is not cleared. Georgia has 3 minutes left in the period. A minute 45 of that. Oh my goodness, is on the power play, and that was a loud bang. I was looking at my notes, and that scared me just a little bit.
Surprised the lights didn't go out.
Yeah, that could have been catastrophic. As this first period has not felt real. It's been 2 goals in a minute 26 seconds, and then Carolina has a wacky goal where it goes off Georgia's own defender, and since then it's just been bodies flying everywhere. Friday night madness, I guess, here at the Plex. Coach is going to strategize in just about 2 minutes and 50 seconds, but they got to get out of this one. Oh, a great shoveling chance. J.P. Mackin could not get a big shot on it. As that one goes off Dobbs' shoulder, could not find it, and still not cleared. But it's played with a high stick, and it'll come out to the neutral zone. They're calling that on Tyler Casey, the captain. The whole Georgia bench does not agree with that one.
Seems like every player on the ice a little bit unhappy with the calls that the refs have been making. Just a few moments ago, we saw Matt Baxter come up with the most puzzled look on his face after Noonan was sent off the ice.
Yeah, I think they're trying to figure out if they want to let everything slide or if they want to call every little thing. South Carolina fans definitely know about that. Just a week ago. But we're not going to bring that up because Sean Miller just had a turnover in the Georgia zone, but got that one deflected wide. It's family weekend here in Columbia, South Carolina, so a lot of parents in the crowd tonight. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to those who made the trip down here. I've seen some Massachusetts license plates. We've got some guys there, Anthony Rodriguez being one of them. Some New Jersey license plates. Shout out Jacob Calaberta.
Speaking of New Jersey, look on the ice and you'll see Carolina's New Jerseys.
Good one. Debuting the new Blacks. D1 Cock Hockey has some new jerseys of their own. They have some cream-colored jerseys, which I thought were very cool looking. But I'm a big fan of the all-black for Carolina here tonight.
I mean, I might be biased, but I think we do black and red better than Georgia does.
Oh, shots fired. As Sean Miller trying to look for his first shot of the night. His first couple have been blocked. He's doing a great job killing the rest of this penalty, and it's finally killed. We're back to 5-on-5 action for the final 70 seconds here in the first period. That was thrown at Dobbs. He does not have it. Puck is still loose. And a great play by Will Traynor to backhand that one out of the crease. Dobbs thought he had that one squeezed in his chest pad. He did not. And Carolina, we talk about them giving up late minute goals in every period it feels like this season so far. discipline in the final 19th minute is very important for Carolina. It looks like they're trying to work on that just a little bit. Kept in the zone, backhanded on target, and now poked at, and getting an extra shot there was Drew Lannon. The Gamecocks did not like that one. Somebody's going to the box here, looks like. Looks like the refs are trying to get a hold of this game now. We just talked about them not letting everything go, but not calling everything at the same time. I think they know how much of a rivalry this game is and how chippy it can get. They're gonna start getting a grasp on this one as Will Trainer's going to the box.
Yeah, referees not too popular this last week here in Columbia. I mean, for good reason in some of it, but I mean, as you mentioned, they're going to try to get a hold of this one because it's starting to get a bit out of hand, especially with this rivalry. I mean, yeah, it's getting very chippy now, Austin.
They're currently huddled up by the penalty box. Will Trainer still questioning what he did. 31 seconds remaining in the first. I mean, that was just a classic example of Carolina being like, don't touch my tendy. You throw the stick at our goaltender, we're going to put some hands on you. And the refs did not agree with them.
I mean, that's one of the first things I learned about hockey. You don't mess with the goalkeeper. I mean, that's how most fights start in the NHL. Don't touch the goalkeeper, and players won't touch you.
Yeah, and Drew Lannon, he definitely got a good whack in there. The puck was kind of bouncing around with Dobbs just a little bit. Ref's still sorting this out. One of them talking to the scoreskeeper, lined up at center ice in between the two penalty boxes. Two other officials explaining to Georgia's head coach, Cole Jacobs, what
They have this. Both teams for the second time tonight have a player in the penalty box.
That one's going to go into the netting. I think both these teams are just trying to get through these final 25 seconds and get off the ice and get some mid-period adjustments.
Shout out Mike. We love Mike's in this chat. Mike on the show, Mike.
Everyone, thank you for tuning in tonight and bearing with our technical difficulties. As the final 20 seconds are going to tick off here, unless Sean Miller has something to say, he's going to throw that one down there. Caliberto's going to go after it. 10 seconds to go now. Shot from the point, did not get through. That one's just going to be cleared out of the zone, and the final second will take off. When we return, a minute and a half to go on the 4-on-4 penalties that both teams have been assessed. 2-1 at the end of 20 minutes. We'll be right back.
We got, 15 minutes? Probably. But it's getting better every other time. We're just having fun. That's nice. It's not really going to give us
back, everybody, for the second period here in Irmo, South Carolina. It is family weekend here in I just said Irmo, but it's in Columbia, South Carolina. The Gamecocks are hosting the Georgia Bulldogs on family night. Owen Newham wanted to give a shout out to his father and grandmother for being in attendance tonight. Great to see them here, and I'm sure many more are here. We want to thank you guys for making the drive all the way out or down or up here to Columbia, South Carolina. It's a great Friday night. There was a lot of traffic getting in here. It's a good crowd on hand here tonight, Xander.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's been a great game too. Georgia coming out hot, getting 2 goals in that first minute and a half. Kind of shocking the Gamecocks, but a goal by Elodie brought them back into it in the middle of that first period.
Hard to believe that it's 2-1 Georgia, because the first 2 minutes of the game were dominated by Georgia. It looked like it was going to be a rough night. But then, the last 18 minutes were all Carolina. So, we'll see what happens here in the second period. Carolina, they got to get a better forecheck going. We saw it a couple times. They got to turn the puck over. They got to turn the puck over, make Georgia force Georgia to make errors in their own zone. As this second period is underway, we remain 4-on-4. If you're just joining us, a couple 4-on-4s here tonight so far. 1 man off the ice for each squad. 1:11 remaining in both those penalties. They'll come out at the same time. So Georgia has it in the neutral zone. That one's thrown in. Looks like it hit the official. Now across the blue line. Here's Matt Baxter. He takes a shot, a good pass save. That one was not controlled by Dees. That had to be steered aside by his defensive partner. A shot there, blocker save. Carolina getting some good looks early on in the second period. Now surveying. Dancing with the puck a little bit. Going all over the place. There's a shot there. That's going to go up and into the netting. First stoppage of play. 24 seconds to go on this 4-on-4. Just over a minute. And what are you seeing so far, Xander? And what do you want to see better from both teams since the first period?
I mean, Austin, we talk a lot about the goalkeepers when we cover these games. As you mentioned, Carolina really getting a lot of shots and being on that front foot later in that first period. But I think that speaks a lot to Georgia's goalkeeper, Dees. He's been keeping them in it, keeping them ahead that whole first period, basically.
Yeah, both goalies playing pretty well. Couple early goals from Dobbs, but since then he's been doing quite well. Dees didn't really give up one. On the stats sheet it did, but a deflection off of his own defender. It resulted in Carolina's lone goal so far tonight. Derek Helody was that goal. Shot it from the half walls. Now here's a great chance for Carolina. On the rush, score! Mason Holmes on the pass from Will Trainer knocks this game up at 2.
It's another instance here of the announcer's curse. We were just talking about these. Could have done better on that one, but a great finish by Holmes.
That's now what, 19 times we've done that tonight? It's been quite the cursed night for the announcers up here in the booth. Mason Holmes getting his first goal of the season, and Will Trainer getting his second apple in the season.
Carolina finally able to draw even here after that face-off.
We had our production crew and our media crew go down there and try to get interviews in between the periods. They were not happy in that Carolina locker room for sure. They did not like how that first period went at all. They know this is a game that could very well win. And I think they're trying to ramp up that intensity here. What a nice move by Helody. Now that puck was blocked. Now it comes all the way to the top. Range could not get that one on target. Now a good play by Patrick there in the neutral zone, preventing a odd man rush.
Well, you speak often about how it's a very winnable game for the Gamecocks. Georgia going just 5-9 last season, hoping to start their season off with a win, but Gamecocks will have something to say about that.
That one was thrown into the bench by Georgia, but if you don't think a backup goalie is paying attention on the bench, he was right there. He just gloved that down and prevented a couple players' faces from probably getting knocked in by the flying puck there. Backup goalies do come in handy.
No, yeah, that'd be Drew Durdov, who played very, very well in that last 4-1 win against Citadel a few weeks ago.
Bouncing puck just goes wide, and Nick Adams will chase it to the corner. He's hounded by Charlie Reif. Georgia starts the breakout process. Cross-ice pass. Here's Schwenkamp. He throws one. And, oh my goodness, a bouncing puck in the crease. And finally, it's fallen on. Dobbs made the blocker save. It went right up and over him. Bounced in the blue crease. And almost took a couple bad bounces for Carolina. But Georgia, no one there for the Bulldogs to tap it home. It's still 2-2.
Another topic of conversation in the first period was the officiating. It seemed like, usually there's one team that is for the officiating, one against, but both teams looked very upset with the refs a couple times during that first period.
Which is kind of shocking because I thought they did a pretty good job. They let him play enough, but it also never really got too out of control.
There was that push on the goalkeeper.
Bodies continuing to fly everywhere. We've seen that tonight. It took the Gamecocks quite a few minutes to get their feet underneath them. And another collision behind D's, and another one coming out of the zone. Everyone's falling all over the place. And number 4 for the Bulldogs, that's Jared Dye. He's still down. He's limping off the ice without his stick. That one's going to be offsides. As some more pushing and shoving. We've seen a lot of fireworks here tonight. We mentioned it a couple times. Rivals in every sport, whether it's NCAA or AAU, we've seen guys hate each other on the ice, on the field. Even in the MCAA, the Men's Club Lacrosse Association. I was at the Georgia-Carolina lacrosse game last year, and a couple fights almost broke out, and that's really not allowed in lacrosse, as it is in hockey. These teams do not like each other.
No, absolutely. A lot of overlap. The women's soccer team at USC just played Georgia a few days ago. Tough battle there as well. As you mentioned, Austin, these teams despise each other. Coming from SEC and other sports and stuff, that's a big rivalry.
And not too far from each other, just within about a 3-hour radius of each other. Athens, a beautiful city, very nice college town, very easily accessible for these guys to just show up on a Friday night and play each other like they have tonight. And now the officials are gathered by the penalty box. 2 of them are discussing something.
That's not the first time they've done that tonight either.
Yeah, they're talking everything through. They're making sure they get the right calls, whether one side likes them or not. As that face-off is won back into the Carolina zone. If you're listening in the car or in the airport or something like that, Carolina is going right to left this time in this period, and the Bulldogs are going left to right in the road whites.
This is for kids.
Face off to the left of Dobbs. That one's thrown up the ice. Almost took a Sean Miller bounce, and that one hit a player on the bench. So we're going to get another face-off in the neutral zone. Shout out to Baby from the 704, Charlotte, North Carolina, my hometown. Fun fact, the Baby filmed a music video at my high school. True story. Black Zach. And that's his name. Shot goes wide.
Prime life is the baby dually called
2018 DeBaby is unmatched. The prime was immaculate.
You know what they say? He got diamonds on all of his teeth. Now they probably think he ain't intelligent. But in reality, he's at the top of his class with his letterman.
A great chance here for Carolina. Shoveling at one, and that doesn't go in. A great stand there from D's. I never thought I'd hear a DeBaby lyric on a hockey broadcast ever in my life. So I'm glad we're breaking down some walls here. We're making
barriers being broken at the Plex here in Irmo.
Freaky Friday, anything can happen. As there's a shot there, puck still loose, and finally Dobbs falls on it. as a Georgia Bulldog ends up in the goal. And we're having fun tonight, aren't we, Xander? We're having a good time. It's great to be here in the Plex. Great crowd on hand. Everyone having a phenomenal time here tonight. South Carolina at home tomorrow against Akron. It's
Slaughter incoming.
Man, I hope. Hopefully it's not another Old Dominion
I mean, you know how Carolina sports can go, so.
It's kind of been that way tonight. Kind of, they expected to go in here and kind of dominate, and here they are 5 minutes into the second period in a 2-2 draw.
I think it would be fair to say that they have been the better team tonight. I think that would be fair to say. But, I mean, of course, a quick start will put Georgia in a good position.
Yeah, definitely, but Georgia has not been able to do anything since that quick start. Hopefully I didn't just announce her curse again.
Here it comes.
As back through center comes Georgia. On the attack, a shot there just goes over the net. Had to hold my breath on that one. That goes down low. Tie up, loose puck comes up to the top. Trying to get a slapper on that one was Greg Steckel. And it'll come back to Dobbs. As the puck's kind of been bouncing around. No one's really had a good possession here in the second period. Both teams now getting a full sail line change. Just over 5 minutes into the second period, 2-2. And if you're just joining us, thank you for tuning in to some cock-hockey D3 action as they take on the Georgia Bulldogs, who have graciously made the trip about 3 hours north of them. Northeast, I guess? Northeast? I'm not good with geography.
It is north.
Okay, thank you. Puck comes to Dobbs. Carolina's going to look to break out. And that one's thrown around the end boards. Now up through center. Carolina looking to get more of a pristine attack here. Oh, a great opportunity for Mason Holmes, who already has a goal tonight. Man, they're looking to feed number 11 here as Dobbs makes another save. He's been busy the second period, Xander.
Absolutely. Both of the goal scorers for Carolina on the ice right now, Helledy and Holmes, Double H duo, 2 goals from the two of them. Collectively, not both of them have 2.
.47 to go in the second period. Face off to the right. Blocker side of Dobbs. Newnham and Dobbs having a conversation there. I think Dobbs is a little upset with how much he's been handled by Georgia after the whistle. We've seen it a couple times in the first period where South Carolina guys had to intervene as there's a shot, pass save, puck still loose, poked out, oh my goodness, it just goes wide of the net! And now the net comes off and there was a big hit in front. Newnham is down in the Georgia goal. Is now Holmes is going to stick up for his guy. As now there's more fireworks going on at center ice. Talked about Georgia taking some shots at Dobbs. It's definitely been physical. And here comes a penalty. But it looks like Newnham's going to get the boot too. Another 4-on-4. I wasn't looking at the goal when it happened, but it looked like he just got tied up. And Jared Dye going to the box for the second time here tonight for pretty much the same penalty. Roughing, unnecessary roughness, whatever you want to call it. He doesn't agree. I think he was just trying to get physical, but he took down Newnham hard, and Newnham came up rightfully angry, and so did his teammates.
And Newnham will be sent to the box in a game where he's looking to continue his scoring streak, scoring in both of their first 2 games against Charlotte and against the Citadel.
So for the third time tonight, it'll be 4-on-4. We haven't seen that in the first 2 games for Carolina. So unfamiliar territory for the third time in the second period.
A couple times in that game a few weeks ago against the Citadel, they were down 3-5, but as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, they've done a great job defending on the penalty kill this season, being able to waste a lot of time and make sure their guys are able to get back out on the ice.
So face-off will come to the right of Dees, who we like to praise goalies whenever we can. He's had a good night, and so is Dobbs. Both of them have let in 2. Referees sort everything out. Looks like there's 2 guys in the box for either squad now. Didn't even see that. That one's easily blockered away by D's. Georgia still having trouble clearing their zone. Here's that forecheck we were talking about, Xander, that Carolina needs to have. And another failure of an attempt to clear. Being poked at, it's still loose. Still loose. The whistle did not blow. It comes out to Crange. Now it's moved over. Blocked pass. That tried to go cross ice to Sean Miller. Or excuse me, Alberto. Sean Miller now along the boards. Tries to send one out to Caliberto. Crange is across. He cut just a little too quickly. That one's going to come out of the zone on the air pass. 1:10 to go in the penalty. And Halliday somehow retains possession of that puck. He slid a couple feet on his knees after getting knocked down from behind. Now he's going to use his speed and take it across the blue line. He's going coast to coast here for Carolina. Doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Jukes out 2 guys. Trying to get it to Sean Miller. Just flew off the stick of number 9 in black. And Halliday going to get some water on that bench. He just had a long shift and sprinted that whole ice.
By no means the highest scoring game we've covered here at the Plex, but perhaps the most entertaining. This rivalry is producing a lot of I wouldn't say fights, but it's very chippy for sure. Every goal meaning everything to these squads.
Back through center into the zone. A shot at another block right in front of D's. 15 seconds to go on the 4-on-4. Both guys going to get released here with 11:35 to go in the second period. Georgia with a miscommunication. They ran into each other there. And now Murphy for Carolina in his second appearance this season will try and get possession for the Gamecocks. He's going to end up losing it. Good hit there by number 16, Marchese. Bouncing puck through center. More physicality and offsides. Matt Baxter gets up, makes a business decision, and does not get Carolina in another man advantage, or man down, I should say. I think that's going to be the word of the night is discipline from here on out. Who's going to get under whose skin more?
Yeah, that was something we mentioned at the beginning of the game that Georgia would be able to use to their advantage, especially with how many penalties that this Carolina squad has received this season, especially in some of these later periods where they've been known to concede a few goals.
Yeah, absolutely. That puck's going to come all the way back down. We're back to 5-on-5, even strength. As along the half wall, across ice the puck comes. Mason Holmes has a goal here tonight. The first real goal for Carolina, it feels like. Halliday threw one at the cage early on. It deflected off a Georgia defenseman and got past D's. Off the boards and thrown now into the Georgia side of the rink. Holmes quick to the puck. Georgia with a perfect clear. Skating away now is the Carolina defensive core. They're going to try and clear the zone. Bodies being thrown everywhere now. Seems like you get in a 3-foot radius of somebody and your first instinct is to just throw a shoulder at them. Talking about that physicality ramping up, Xander.
I like the intensity from both sides. It's proving to be very entertaining to watch. A couple guys going into the penalty multiple times, especially I think Dye for Georgia's been in there a couple times. As you mentioned, discipline very important now.
Big Adams sends that one just wide. He took the loose puck in the neutral zone. And now Carolina with some good timing back through center. Here is McAdams again. He tried to shovel that one out in front to number 21, but he could not get that one on. That was Aiden Fry. Could not get the handle that he needed to get the shot off. Over halfway through this period and halfway through this game is a deflected shot. Dees wasn't really ready for it, but it came off his pad and goes wide. Georgia still playing on their half of the ice.
You mentioned Aiden Fry. He was able to get kind of a freak goal last game against the Citadel where came off the post after a pass from the opposite team came off the post.
Had a great opportunity there, but just sent it wide. Right across the goal mouth. Now a big tie up in the corner. That one was centered down front, but no Gamecock waiting for it. That one almost took another big bounce, but that one went just a few feet left of the cage. No icing. Both officials wave it off. Georgia with a big line change. They were out there for a while. Carolina tried to take advantage of that, but the errant pass goes over the stick of Sean Miller. But they'll regain possession here. As here's Murphy. Got tied up behind D's. And it comes back out for Georgia. Both teams swapping possession here. And a penalty upcoming on Carolina. I don't know about that one. I've given the refs some props, but they're calling it on, who is that? Number 24? They're calling that on William Forrest, who made contact with Kate Santa Maria, but I feel like Santa Maria kind of just ran right into him as Forrest was retreating back to play defense.
Forrest implementing my favorite rule of thumb on defense. Either you or the puck get by me, not both.
Yeah, and he made sure one of them didn't, and I didn't think it was an egregious way either. I thought it was perfect positioning. Yeah, it was perfect positioning. I thought Santa Maria just lost his footing, but man advantage number 2 on the night for Georgia. So Carolina back on the penalty kill.
Power call sounds cooler.
Good job by Rodriguez killing time there. He was double teamed on the corner. As now centering pass out in front. Puck is still loose and it's cleared. And it's going to hit the ceiling yet again. For what seems to be the second or third time tonight. A minute and a half to go on this man advantage. Big stop there by Carolina. That could have gotten ugly.
For the first time in a few minutes in this game, it's looking like the players are going for goal instead of each other. It seems like every player is looking for a chance to just kind of body check people and let them know who they are.
PA guy doing very well on the mic tonight. There's not one song that he has played where I'm not dancing while you're talking over here, so. Georgia trying to set up their offense here. Great feed down low, they score! What a cross-ice pass from Tyler Casey! And the Dogs go up 3-2 on the power play.
Guy comes back on now, yeah.
And what do you know? It was Santa Maria with the goal. Oh man,
Questionable.
the last 6-7 days, it's been Carolina getting screwed out of points by officials. That was football, but first case tonight here in hockey. I'm gonna stay unbiased and say refs are calling the game. That's not my job. I just talk about it. But we just mentioned we didn't really agree with the call, and the guy who went down ended up having the goal. But here could be a puck goal line moment. Mason Holmes throws one, but what a glove save by D's. Oh, that could have been a big puck goal line moment. 7:30 to go. 3-2 Bulldogs. And now Carolina back to even strength.
We talked about the officiating, both sides not being afraid to tell the ref what they think about the calls. I've seen a bunch of players skate over to the refs, kind of angry.
3 different refs from the weekend. We were here last where the Citadel and Charlotte were in town taking on the Gamecocks. Just a quick recap. 1 win over the Citadel. That was a 4-1 contest as that one hits the netting. And then a 5-5 draw against Charlotte to open the season for Carolina. And like we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, this is Georgia's first game of the season, so they've got some fireworks underneath them for sure.
I mean, the record doesn't say the whole story for the Gamecocks. I mean, that 5-5 draw went to overtime against Charlotte, and Charlotte didn't want to take a shootout, so Gamecocks could very well be 2-0 here.
First conference matchup for both these teams, but especially Carolina. They've had 2 under their belt to kind of figure out what they needed to work on in practice this week, as they are currently 3rd in the College Hockey South Division III. They sit behind Florida and Alabama. Next week, a score for the point! I wasn't even paying attention. I looked up, And a slap shot from Crange. Might have been deflected in front again, but this time by Carolina Gamecock. We're going to give it to Crange, I think, number 10 in black. 3-3 with 6:50 to go in the second.
I mean, Austin, we've been so lucky in some of the goals we've been seeing in these games that we've been calling, specifically that one, and then we saw a beautiful one from Ethan Ballackett for the men's soccer team, but being blessed with some very beautiful goals tonight. That one, top ends.
We haven't seen many long-range shots taken by Carolina, but Patrick Crange let that one go, and it pays off. As now we're back to a tie game. McAdams with it now. Carolina has yet to play from a lead. They were down 2-0, and then 3-2. Looking to get that momentum on their side and keep it there. As now McAdams trying to turn the corner. Could not get control of the puck as he needed to. That one's going to be thrown into the Carolina zone. 3-3 with 6:15 to go in the second period. Crange getting on the board for his first point of the season.
Yeah, Crange's minutes sort of limited this season. His first appearance coming last game in that win against the Citadel, but showing why he should be out on the ice more is as he levels things for the Gamecocks. Quite beautifully, I might add, as we mentioned, top of the net.
Back to center Carolina. Back on the attack. Shot there from Murphy. That got blocked and never got over to Dees. Some offensive explosion here tonight for both these teams, because we almost saw another one there. That was Caliberta. And now slipping and sliding out there is pretty much everybody. We've seen everyone hit the deck at least some point tonight. It is ice. Real trainer. Moves it over to Forrest. The defensive lines have kind of been switched up tonight. Archesi and Bud continue to be the line one, but we've seen Will Trainer and William Forrest paired up together. They're usually lines 2 and 3, but because of their performance, they're playing a lot more tonight than they have the last couple games. That will be an icing, so we're going to have a face-off in the Georgia zone with just under 5 minutes to go in the second period.
This game has got everything you could want out of a rivalry game. Long-range efforts, a lot of penalties. Been very entertaining one so far, Austin.
It certainly has been, as there's a shot blocker wide. Now puck at a standstill in the corner. It comes out now with Matt Baxter. He dekes his way through and just off the shoulder of Dees. I don't even think Dees saw it. He kind of shot that one through a defender. Matt Baxter did, and almost had another goal to his name this season.
Yeah, Baxter, the point leader for this Gamecock squad. 2 goals, 2 assists in 2 games this season. 2 points per game, pretty solid.
Freshman from Rhode Island, putting the offense on his back. He's been a little quiet tonight, though. He's had the puck a couple times, a couple shots, but that was his best opportunity, and that's the first time we've really called his name. That puck went into the Carolina bench, so they're going to be in the neutral zone, right in front of the men in black. They will redo this draw. Not sure why. Georgia only had 4 guys out there. The officials making sure that they have all 5. We talked about discipline earlier in this period, and only sending 4 guys out there to Carolina's 5 when you don't even have a penalty is not something you want to do if you're the Bulldogs. Because now here's Rodriguez. He got that one poked away at the last minute. And now with some speed back through center comes Steckel. Steckel is very tall and very physical, as he just showed. He's also got some wheels on him. Back through center comes Carolina. Trying to center that one out in front. Could not get it there. Here is Matt Baxter. He's going to backhand one up top. Shot from the point is gloved by Dees with 3:49 to go in the second. Ten guys off, 10 new guys onto the ice for both these teams. except the goalies, of course, who have been playing phenomenal tonight. This one's going to come to the glove-hand side of Tavion Dees. He's backed up by Tanner Ringwald, wearing number 35, who I'm sure we'll see a lot of this season when watching Georgia film because they're both two very good goalies. We talk about the tandem goalies. That's now back to center's a big man advantage. Odd man rush. That puck bounced around. It looked like that puck hit the Carolina bench. Will Trainer was back there. He was putting his hand up. He wanted to see the ref blow the whistle there. He did not. But now Carolina back on offense. Here's that sustainable offense we talked about them needing. Trying to poke that one ahead. It's going to come to the corner. Newnham trying to space out. Just out of his reach. That one goes into the netting. Newnham has had a couple chances tonight in the offensive zone. Just it's kind of been out, just barely out of his reach, or passes have been in his skates. That just goes for Newnham and a bunch of his line mates as well. I think if Carolina starts connecting on these passes in the offensive attack zone, they could put up 5-6 goals here tonight. Carolina switches their personnel again, keeping those legs fresh. Georgia only switches one or two.
That's something we spoke to a lot this season is their depth. They've got two teams, a D1 team, of course, hoping to defend their national championship this season, but a lot of players from this university, very good players at that. So anytime a new line comes in for Carolina, they continue right where they left off.
Under 3 minutes to go here in the second period. Offsides will be the call. First period kind of flew by. This second period kind of dragging by ever so slightly. A lot more stoppages in play. A lot more penalties, a lot more goals. It was 2-1 going into the period. It is now 3-3. It's a 3-goal scored in each period, actually. It's now turnover in the neutral zone. Georgia gives it right back. Carolina will dump it right back to Jared Dye. He will send it the length of the ice. It will be touched right in front of the Carolina bench. So it will be no icing. As a big collision there, centered out in front. Just over the head of Jared Dye on the follow-up attempt. Georgia might have survived the Carolina rush. Here in this second period, they're going to look to create one of their own. We talk about not giving up those late period goals. Carolina's going to have to make sure they don't get caught too deep in the Georgia zone here.
Yeah, something that they've been known to do. I mean, in that first game against Charlotte, they gave up 4 goals in that last period. So something they've tried to cut out, and luckily they were able to against the Citadel a few weeks ago, but remains to be seen if they'll give up any late goals this game.
Back into the offensive zone, a 3-on-1, back across, shot score! Sean Miller! Gamecocks take their first lead of the night, late in the second, and they do the opposite of what we were just telling them not to do. And they get a goal with 1:41 to go in the second period. First lead of the night for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, Sean Miller, a huge part of this team's success this season. He grabs his second goal of the season. He's got 3 points on the season. Picked up an assist last week against the Citadel. How important has that guy been for this team? It seems that he's on the. I mean, he's in the stat sheet every week.
He certainly is. Sean Miller with his third point, like you mentioned. That line one left winger putting on a performance for the Gamecocks, and down 2-1 going into this period. Currently up 4-3 late in the second. Definitely a different tale of the story going into this second intermission in just 90 seconds. Saw the 3-on-1 developing. We just said, don't get caught in their zone. Oh my goodness, another chance there. Almost went in. Carolina's offense doing phenomenal here in the second period. 3 goals. 2 of them unanswered. Here's another cutter, and they score! William Forrest cutting to the net hard. And a great feed for multiple Gamecocks. 2 goals in just 42 seconds.
Yeah, they got better. Georgia's start to the game with 2 and 120. Gamecocks say, what you can do, we can do better. now putting themselves at a nice position with a 2-goal cushion.
Wow, what a tale, or what am I trying to say? How the turntables. Shout out The Office. I've never actually watched The Office, but anyways, 5-3. We were talking about how Carolina has kind of felt like since the 18-minute mark in the first period, as they might have another opportunity here. A shot just goes over. That might have been deflected by Dees off the glove. Imagine if they would have scored that one. Take a 3-goal lead going into the second intermission. That could have been catastrophic for Georgia. It already looks like it is because Carolina's been kind of dominating since the 18-minute mark in the first period. They're just actually finding the back of the net now.
Yeah, it's something I mentioned in that first period. Even while they were down 2 goals, they were getting a lot of opportunities, but now finally becoming clinical and getting them in the net.
Poked away through center. Under a minute to go here in the second period. Carolina throwing everything at Georgia that they've got right now. Georgia unable to respond so far. Real trainer digging at it. Caught up in 2 defensemen's feet and almost turned into another odd man rush. As it might turn into one here as Newnham chases it into the corner. Makes a nice move off the boards. He ran into his own guy. As now that will come out to Dees with 24 seconds to go in the second period. A 2-goal lead for Carolina. A late night in Carolina. Just past 10 o'clock. Talk about the big game day tomorrow. Luckily, it's a night game, not a noon game like it was last week. No one will be up at 4 in the morning for college game day. As they were last week, as Carolina continuing that offensive pressure. That one just a little too hard over the stick. And back the other way. Marchese has to go chase it down. Charles Bud beats him to it. Woo! A nice move behind the net. 5 seconds to go in the second. Shot from the point goes way wide. And that will do it for 40 minutes of action. 5-3 is your score. 20 more minutes remain here in Irmo. We'll be back in the Plex after the intermission.
on the metro in Spain.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some third period action here at Flight Adventure Park in Irmo, South Carolina. Georgia's bench trying to fire them up as we take to center ice. Gamecocks trying to replicate the noise. They have the crowd on their side here tonight. Got a good one on hand as it comes back to Dobbs. 5-3 is your score as we're underway here in the third. And a big first 5 minutes. My old coaches used to say games were won in the first and last 5 minutes. And this first 5 minutes of the third period can be very crucial.
Well, the first minute and a half of the first period saw Georgia go up 2-0. Gamecocks were able to tie it up. I mean, goes back and forth a little bit in that second period, but now the Gamecocks are up 2 goals and are back in a great position for the first time in this match. I mean that it was devastating for them to go down 2 in a minute and a half, but in that second period they scored 2 of their own in about 42 seconds. So it's been a very back and forth battle, but for the most part, I feel like the Gamecocks have been on the front foot.
Yeah, absolutely. About since that 18-minute mark, like you mentioned, it's been all Gamecocks, except for a couple different plays, but face off now. To the left of D's is from the length of the ice. No icing, waved off at the last second by the officials. We've seen a lot of penalties tonight here as well, Zach.
A lot of 4-on-4s happening here for the two of these subs. Penalties really started to flow in through that second period. It's been very chippy. As we mentioned, it's a very big rivalry game. Both teams are going to want to come out with a win, especially because I'm sure they've been talking a lot of mess on the ice. I mean, I know this squad is that. I know that the Gamecocks have been ready for this one for a couple weeks now, posting some social media content. Go check us out on Instagram. But yeah, they're ready for this one.
That's Xander Collins. I'm Austin McConnell. We want to thank you for joining us here tonight. Late Friday night hockey, nothing better. 5-3, that one got to Dobbs. He was able to easily trap it and freeze the puck. 18:40 to go in this third period. First period went by quick. Second period a little bit more methodical. We'll see how this third period.
Big pull from the big pull.
Big pull, deep pull. Shout out Merriam-Webster. Carolina gonna throw it into the Georgia zone. And Xander mentioned it just a couple minutes ago. Shout out the Cock Hockey B3 Instagram. Go follow, like all the stories for all the in-game updates as well. Phenomenal storytelling and interviews and photography. Great staff we have on this Cock Hockey internship program.
Yeah.
Question mark?
Yeah, some very exclusive content that you won't find on this broadcast, so make sure you go check it out before this game's over.
We got a couple boneheads in the booth up here, and a lot of creative people down.
Speak for yourself.
Ringside. Hey, I just shouted out Merriam-Webster. What are you doing?
It's a deep pull. Wait till I pull out a random basketball player from the 2010s.
Chris Middleton.
Keith Boggins.
Through center. Georgia's going to retain possession, and a little miscommunication on the line change there. Just over a couple minutes have elapsed here
in this third period. Carolina getting their first look, and they score! Seamus Murphy, his first goal. The freshman gets the Gamecocks' 6th goal of the night, and the first for number 7 in black.
This one's starting to get ugly here. A little Georgia pun for you guys if you didn't hear that one. But, I mean, Gamecocks started pretty slowly, especially in that first minute of the first period. But ever since then, Austin, as you mentioned, they've really been sticking to this Georgia team and now finally reaping the benefits of their hard work.
You guys are watching the Cock Hockey Instagram live, or YouTube live, excuse me. Thank you for joining us here tonight. 6-3 if you're just joining us. Just under 3 minutes into this third period. And now Carolina can just play for the lead for the final 17 minutes here.
I mean, Austin, the game is by no means over. The fat lady has yet to sing. But, you know, I mean, the Gamecocks have been known to concede a few late goals, 4 in that last period against Charlotte in their opener. But, you know, they're gonna look to cut some of that out as they did in the last game. But especially this season, there's been a couple late goals that they've conceded. So, as I mentioned, they'll look to cut some of that out and finish this game strong against Bulldogs.
Yeah, discipline was the word we mentioned mid-second period there, and that still reigns true. They just got to be smart here. Georgia getting caught in a line change. A couple people on the ice didn't know when to go or who was coming off. Carolina, I don't think really realized that they were doing that, or they could have attacked a little bit more. But they look to get a line change of their own as off comes Will Traynor and Mason Holmes. Dude, their connection has been lethal tonight. Will Traynor with the assist to Mason Holmes on his goal. That made it 3-3, or 3-2, excuse me. Now odd man rush for Georgia. Good stick left there by Aiden Fry, then he's pummeled and thrown into the boards. But Carolina's going to have the offensive rush here, as William Forrest, who also has a goal tonight, sent that one wide. He's going to go fight for it in the corner. Georgia just trying to clear the zone. Now turnover. Here's William Forrest cutting to the net, and he had a great opportunity, but could not get out in front of the cage. Get the right angle. Aiden Fry, at the end of his shift, he looks a little tired. Turnover in the neutral zone. Georgia trying to come back the way. That's Benjamin Pacheco. Not related to Isaiah Pacheco.
I'm sorry if you own him in fantasy. He's on IR.
I think they know that.
Well, I guess they would know that.
A week later, thanks for breaking the news to him.
They call me the Woj of the NFL.
Back through center.
Getting some breaking news here.
Over 5 minutes into the second period as bodies are flying. Shoves are being made. Arms are going in the air, and we're going to get a penalty. Both officials who call penalties have their hands in the air. Even the one from across the ice.
He was quick to get over there. He's got some wheels on him. But as we mentioned, discipline was going to be the story of this third period, but it took just over 5 minutes for that to change.
Well, we talked about the 5-minute rule, how quickly it can change the tide of a period or a game. Carolina getting a goal, and we'll see who this penalty is on. We could very well see another 4-on-4 here tonight.
That's been a testament to just how chippy this game has gotten. We mentioned a few times on the broadcast, huge rivalry, not just between the two schools, but it seems between the two squads now. Personally, it's been a lot of shoving, pushing, a little bit of fighting. Both teams not really letting up on that, trying to keep that physical dominance of the game.
Yeah, and, getting into the later stages of this third period, 3-goal lead for Carolina, and they have all the momentum right now. Georgia's kind of throwing everything at them, doing everything they can. We talked about at the beginning of the game, Georgia trying to get under Carolina's skin and kind of get them a little too rowdy. And it seemed to work in the first period. Once Carolina calmed down, got into got outside of their own head, didn't get in their head too much and get all out of control. They were able to make passes, and score goals. And now they have 6 on the night.
Yes, this Carolina team looking to follow suit from the D1 team who beat Georgia recently. Shout out JP and Spencer that called that one. But yeah, big night. New Jersey's looking to continue their success against Georgia programs. Gamecocks doing well so far with that 6-3 lead.
So the refs are really taking their time sorting this one out. Georgia player, I'm trying to see who's in the box there. Can't quite tell. It looks like the boy is headed to the sin bin for Carolina. And it looks like it could be Benjamin Pacheco in the box for the Bulldogs. I mean, that took a whole song to sort out. Actually, William Forrest is going to take the boys' spot for Carolina. So we are going to see another 4-on-4. Looks like it's going to be about 2 minutes for each. 14:26 to go in the third. 3-goal lead. 4-on-4. Officials are ready to drop the puck. And to the right of Silas Dobbs, we're back underway. Could have fit a whole commercial break in that.
If only we had that Chipotle thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, thank you to all those who came out and supported Cock Hockey after last week's game at Chipotle. All proceeds went to the Gamecock team, and that could have very well funded these jerseys.
Yeah, these jerseys look real good on these guys. Definitely helped by that Chipotle event. I mean, these ones look high quality, so they couldn't have been cheap.
Yeah, and we talk about how prestigious Cock Hockey has been, the D1 team, I should say, has been for so long. But the D3 team is doing just as much as there's some chirping going on to the right of Dobbs. Matthew Schwenkamp is giving business to Rodriguez. He just points at the scoreboard. Still a lot of time left, but definitely a good chirp. As Bulldogs almost got one back there, that was JP Mackin almost cleaning up in front of Dobbs, but Dobbs stands tall. 4 off, 4 on for Carolina. Georgia rocking with their same 5. And it actually never ended up being a 4-on-4. It's a man advantage for the Bulldogs, and there's a minute 21 to go. Santa Maria thought Sean Miller might have jumped early on that face-off. The official disagrees and lets it play on.
Santa Maria, the goal scorer on that controversial penalty kill on the Gamecocks. We in the booth weren't in agreement with it, but I mean, what the ref says, and they've been doing a good job keeping these boys together, despite all the penalties. They've been doing a pretty good job officiating.
It's a lose-lose situation if you're a ref.
Absolutely.
You're going to make a call, and one side's going to like it, one side isn't. No matter what the call is, no matter how egregious it is, everyone has their biased ways. As Sean Miller with a good deflection there, he's going to clear the zone and give the Gamecocks time to kill this penalty. Georgia's going to get a line change going here. Try and attack here in the final man advantage with 20 seconds to go. Poked away off the half boards, doesn't quite get to Sean Miller. Attacking that one was Drew Lannon. Puck being tossed around behind the end boards. Tied up in the corner, going to kill the final 3 seconds of this penalty.
That has been something that they've been able to do so well this season. Defending on the penalty kill has been a very strong suit for this Gamecock squad, and like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, they've been able to waste time and defend really well.
Now odd man rush up ahead. Newnham couldn't keep control of it. He got that one poked away by Schwenkamp. Hitting the deck was Halliday. And then falling to his knees was Lannon. Now 3-on-3 attack back the other way. Dobbs wasn't really ready for that one, but reacts just in time. Now centering chance out of front. Puck is stolen. Rebound and score! Bulldogs get their 4th of the night, cut the lead to 2. 11:46 to go in the third, and that's a big goal for the Bulldogs if they want any sort of chance at a comeback.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Dobbs didn't look too ready on that one. caused a little bit of bouncing in front of the net, and Bulldogs are able to capitalize and get a little bit closer to equalizing this game.
Christian Herzig with his second of the night on cleanup duty in the paint. That one was kind of just thrown from behind Dobbs out in front. Bouncing puck, bodies scattering everywhere. And it comes right to Christian, and he puts it home at the top of the paint. 6-4, 11:46 to go in the third. Now Carolina, what we thought was a all but wrapped up game. You know, we talked about discipline. They're going to have to keep playing with that discipline that they had in the second period, where they got 4 goals and only gave up 1. Hopefully that's the only goal they gave up in this period.
Well, we were talking just recently about how they've been known to give up a few late goals. We talked about the keys to this game being, you know, staying out of the penalty, even though they've been really good at defending on the penalty kill, and just kind of cutting out those late goals, because that can really change the game. They might change this one.
Icing is waved off at the last second. Now there's going to be a whistle blown, and it looks like there's going to be a charging call on what looks like Charles Budd. So, like you just mentioned, as good as the Carolina Gamecocks have been on the penalty kill, they still got to stay disciplined, and they do the exact opposite. They're going to the box for 2 minutes. Timeout from Georgia here. They're going to talk this one over. If they can get this to a 1-goal game, this can make things very interesting. An offensive explosion from both teams tonight. 10 total goals here, and we're not even wrapped up with this game yet. The Georgia bench definitely looking a little eager to get back out there. They feel something. They have the momentum on their side right now. Carolina talking things over. Coach probably just telling them, calm down. Calm down. You have this game wrapped up. If you play to your standards, don't sink down to their level.
Absolutely. Something we talked about in the keys to the game for Georgia was to try to get under this team's skin. It being their first game of the season, you know, they haven't had a lot to work with. They might be lacking a little bit of chemistry that the Gamecocks have, and they're doing a good job getting in their heads. Gamecocks starting to rally up some penalties.
Slap shot from the point. Glove save, Dobbs. He followed that one all the way to his glove. Great job. Great eye contact there from Dobbs. We've seen a lot of rebound goals here tonight, so maybe those shots from the point are kind of the way to go for either Carolina or Georgia. Here comes another one, and there's another save by Dobbs. So there it is. I mean, I'm talking about taking a shot from the point and getting the rebound, but if Dobbs doesn't allow a rebound, then you're just playing catch with each other, and it's not going to work. So I think you definitely need to mix it up just a little bit. So what a great face-off there by Rodriguez. He sent that one all the way down from the face-off dot next to Dobbs to Tavion Dees at the other end of the ice. Georgia quickly back the other way. Here's Santa Maria between the legs, nice move. Then he gets bullied in the corner, throws it at Dobbs. It comes back to Santa Maria. Playing catch behind the Carolina goal, squirts out front. But with a minute 17, they'll just clear the zone. Close to offsides, but it's not. Rife has it. Now he moves it up top. Here's Tyler Casey, the captain. That one was blocked. Good bounce for Georgia. A save by Dobbs. Puck still loose behind the goal. Good defensive stand. And it's cleared. Quick line change coming for Carolina here. Some fireworks in the corner. It's been happening all night. We've been talking about it all night. There's some more right in front of the referees. He did. 2 high sticks coming right at you without a cage. Now what you want to see is now Sean Miller was calling for it. Rodriguez is going to take it himself. He gets it poked away. He's at the end of his shift. He's going to exit stage left. And he'll get a new set of legs on. Oh, dangerous pass for Georgia. Right in front of their goal. Turnover there could have been horrible. As this penalty almost cleared, 15 seconds to go on this 2-minute minor for charging William Forrest set to come out the box. Or excuse me, Charles Budd. Georgia taking their sweet time, clearing their own zone. Back out onto the ice comes Bud. He'll go to the bench, and Aiden Fry will come back onto the ice.
And as Carolina survive another penalty, I remind you of how good they've been on the penalty kill defensively, almost looking better defensively as a team on the penalty kill than in regular play.
Here's a chance for Helity to make something happen. A 3-on-1 back through center. Helity sends one out front. It's poked away by Dees. Kept in. Tipped out in front. Almost a golden opportunity. Aaron Borisk. We haven't called his name tonight at all. Almost had a deflection goal right in front. Carolina keeping the puck in Georgia's zone. Georgia wants to get it out. They get their line change, and their line's back on the ice. Taking his time with it, there was Helity, as there's 8 minutes to go in this third period. Close to being offsides, not. Pad save Dobbs. That shot came from Nate Gunnard. Slap shot from the point. Dobbs does not allow a rebound and traps it with his chest. 7:51 to go, 6-4. Dobbs with another save. Another reminder to follow Cock Hockey D3 on Instagram at Cock Hockey D3 to never miss an update, live stream, game, or event, or jersey sale. There's a lot going on there. Oh my goodness. Gunnard sent that just wide in the middle of my ad read. How dare he? My God. From the point, passing Dobbs. Dobbs has to be north of 20 saves at this point now. He's done a phenomenal job, and it's not going to show up on the stat sheet with giving up 4 goals, but look at the other end of the guys. Dees has given up 6 goals, but he's played phenomenal as well.
I mean, we say it every broadcast. We praise these goalkeepers. If you're going to face 20, 30 shots a game, I mean, 5 of them are bound to go in. So both goalkeepers still playing very well despite the scoreline.
Here comes William Forrest. He just had 2 minutes to rest in the box. But he turns the puck over. Now there's a shot. That trickles in the goal! Dobbs had it for a second, but it goes through his arm. And Victor Murphy finds the score sheet as the puck barely trickles in. 6-5 with 6:48 to go in the third. Things just got interesting.
I don't know how many times we can mention so many late goals that this team is conceding. They kind of slow down at the end. I mean, it seemed like for the longest time in this game they were on the front foot, but Georgia's starting to attack, specifically on some of these penalties, and really get back into this one. We'll see what the Game Packs can respond with.
A couple Gamecocks weren't too happy with the officials after that one. Maybe they thought it was offsides or something happened in the neutral zone, but officials say it's a good goal. The goal counts, 5th of the night for the Bulldogs.
They were up by 2, and that's dangerous.
First of the season for Victor Murphy. Timeout called by Carolina. Carolina wants to talk things over. Dobbs shaking his head. I think he thought he had that one, but his backup Drew Dirdov tapping him on the head, getting some water, patting him on the back, letting him know it's okay. Being a goalie is hard enough. Add the mental factor to it, and it gets even harder. I know he wants that one back. I know he thinks he thought he had that one. It barely went in. It barely trickled in. It's unfortunate to see if you're Dobbs. He's going to want that one back for sure, but we continue to praise him. He's done a phenomenal job tonight, and I guarantee you Carolina's calling this timeout, telling him how to shut him down, but to also help out Dobbs clear his mind so that he can lock in for the final 6:48 here and just stay on his head and do his job and goal.
Yeah, a couple unfortunate goals in this game. One for both sides. In that first period, one deflecting and going past Dees, and then that one kind of trekking past Dobbs. But as we mentioned, both goalkeepers playing amazing. They just, as we mentioned, you face that many shots, one of them's going to go in.
So
Georgia trying to use their momentum to attack. Carolina, if you're a Carolina fan, you want to get another goal here just to build that lead again, because now you're holding your breath for the final 6.5 minutes. Very interesting game up to this point. It just got even more interesting. So now, Xander, what do you do if you're Carolina? Do you play keep away and just try and keep the possession, kill the time, or do you go to the cage? Might not matter. They're going to get a power play here.
Well, that's definitely going to help Austin. I don't think you can sit back and just let them take shots. I think they've got to continue to play the way that they've been playing. Been playing pretty strongly, and they continue to play the way that they are. I think they'll be able to get an insurance goal, but by no means can they back down now and just play on the back foot.
The student section behind D's getting rowdy for Carolina here tonight. These fans are into it, man. It doesn't matter if it's NCAA football. It doesn't matter if it's club hockey. This could be club pickleball for all that they care. They are going to get rowdy Friday night. They're trying to match Georgia's energy. Georgia's had a lot of energy since they've scored those couple goals. Carolina trying to back their boys in black. And I know they're going to tear this place down if they get another goal here.
I don't think that glass would be able to hold them back.
Face-off is coming down that way. Carolina players are acknowledging it. They love the support that they're getting. So face-off to the left of D's. Puck comes back to the point. Will Traynor has it now. Now just holding the puck there. Maybe they are just killing this time. As there's a Rodriguez shot. Oh my goodness! It stayed out, but almost another goal off of a Georgia defensive player. Rodriguez just kind of threw that one across the goal mouth. It hit somebody and almost trickled in again. What? That was almost catastrophic for Georgia, but they survived for the time being. And now Carolina with 5.5 minutes to go. Are going to have to touch up. They thought that was offsides. Throws one at D's. He will hold on to it. And 11 remaining on the penalty. 5:18 to go in the third period. 6-5 contest is a little tighter than we expected. We knew Georgia didn't have the year they had last year. Clearly they kept all their guys from the offseason and made some big-time adjustments. I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. They only lost 3 seniors. And they've actually added more people than they had last year. So definitely a good offseason for Georgia, and they look to showcase that this season and tonight.
Yeah, both teams incredibly deep. Gamecocks looking to continue their unbeaten run. That shot is saved by Dees.
Big stick save there. Just got the knob of his stick on it.
Dees got his knob.
4.5 minutes to go. Here are those final 5 minutes we talked about. This can make or break the game tonight. Oh, and a turnover behind the cage. Dobbs fanned on the pass. And we saw Georgia almost had a catastrophic failure. That could have been ugly for Dobbs. Backhanded off the end boards. Carolina killing the time. The penalty is killed for Georgia. Keeping it in their zone. Seamus Murphy has a goal tonight. Doing a great job killing time. He throws it out to Baxter. That one was thrown out in center. And now back through center ice comes Georgia. Miscommunication on the line change. But Carolina's going to turn it right back over. Georgia will do the same. And now the bouncing puck on a soft string through center ice as it comes back through the Georgia zone. 3.5 minutes to go now.
taking a spill behind the net. That was Andrew Fleming for Georgia. And now South Carolina just trying to keep it down in the zone, but Georgia doing a good job of getting it out of their zone here. And now it's under Dobbs. He does not find it. Finally he does. The whistle blows with 3:12 to go in the third. Almost another bad bounce for Carolina there. Carolina definitely holding their breath. And if Georgia this time is clicking off way too quickly and way too slowly if you're a Gamecock fan. Esposito comes in from the right wing, and now we'll clear it out. Puck bounces in the air. A big collision. Esposito knocked down. Offsides, delayed offsides. Georgia touches back up. Under 3 minutes to go now. That one was saucered off an ankle. DuBois will retreat. DuBois still under fire. Flips one out. Almost goes over the head of Steckel. He takes a spill. And now in alone, McAdams with a great chance, but a great save by Dees. That could have probably put this one away. Dees with a phenomenal pad save. He knew, it's almost like he knew exactly where McAdams was going. A golden opportunity denied by number 31 in goal. But Carolina looking for another one. McAdams hits the deck. Georgia now. 2 minutes to go. Oh, fanning on pass there. This puck has changed possession quite a few times. When Carolina has the puck, you kind of can breathe a little bit if you're a Gamecock fan, but when it's in possession of the men in white, you start to hold it again and you start to freak out because they're throwing everything at Carolina right now. Carolina just trying to keep it in the Georgia zone. 1:39 to go. Time winding down. Puck comes to the center of the ice and back to the neutral zone. A good stick lift there. And now odd man rush for Georgia. With the puck now is Captain Tyler Casey. Fakes the drop off. Circles back around. He will drop it back. That was the point. That hit forced up high. Yeah, it might have been in the face, but back to center. Here comes Sean Miller. Sean Miller almost got in behind the defense. Fans wanted a tripping call. Centering pass goes wide. 1 minute and 5 seconds remain in this third period. Hit from behind. Another no call. Fans a little reckless. Sean Miller has the puck behind the cage. He whips it around a Will Trainer. 52 seconds remain. Below the circle, it comes to the point. Forrest has it in the zone. He keeps it there. Over to Will Trainer. Moves it back down low. Matt Baxter in the center of the ice calling for it. Seamus Murphy holding on to it. Murphy throws it around the end boards. Georgia, all 5 guys at the end of their shift. 33 seconds to go. Forrest throws one back around the cage. Trying to center that one out. It was blocked. Carolina regains possession. Still along the half wall. Murphy holding on to it. He's hard into the wall there. Baxter comes to aid him. Murphy is going to hold it against the wall. Now he's double teamed. Baxter digging for the puck. 12 seconds to go. Gets thrown around the boards and Will Trainer will take this one back into Carolina territory. He's going to skate away from it. 3 seconds to go. Fans counting down, and Carolina is going to hang on to a 6-5 victory. And nerves were up for this one, but Carolina remains unbeaten as they advance to 2 wins on the season. As there's some fireworks at center ice. Refs separating them. It's not going to matter much now. Game is over. It was chippy all night, but in the end, Carolina prevails. And Gamecock fans, you can breathe a sigh of relief. This handshake line, no matter how chippy it gets, hockey handshakes are always the best. They're going to shake the hands because they respect the heck out of each other. 6-5 Carolina. What are your thoughts, Xander?
I think the Gamecocks did a great job defending that lead, especially as some of those late goals came in. You saw it kind of mess with Dobbs' head a little bit. He was off of his game after that second goal that kind of just trickled in that third period. But they did a great job staying out of the penalty in that late third period, and did a great job holding that puck in the offensive zone to hold that, or to have that clock run out. Overall, great game from both sides, very close. Could have gone either way. Saturday, Gamecocks come out and stay undefeated.
That's going to do it all for us here tonight. Carolina 2-0-1. They advance and have 5 points on the season with 2 wins in the bank. Georgia drops their first game of the season, but no doubt in my mind they will pick up a few in the coming weeks. From the Plex in Irmo, South Carolina, my name is Austin McConnell alongside Xander Collins. Thank you for joining us here tonight, and have a great weekend, Gamecocks.